my name is Kathy.
And I'm Robert. And we're the owners of lovesgarfield.com, one of the most visible Garfield collectibles website in the country. Also, we have a very large Garfield collection thanks to Kathy.
I've been collecting Garfield for over 25 years, and in 2011, Rob and I were the hosts of the Garfield convention. Today we want to show you one of the latest pieces that's available straight from Factory Entertainment. It's the Garfield Gallery Edition Signature Series statue, and it's a limited edition of 500 pieces.
The first thing we like to point out is that we were very surprised by the retail packaging. The box itself looked like something you would see in the shelves of fine stores. We were expecting just a plain vanilla box or a plain white box and maybe just a generic brown box.
They put a lot of thought into the box with the Garfield stripes on the side and showing the details of the piece. It's just a nice presentation for a nice piece.
The boxes were built for protection. So essentially, if you're worried about it traveling across the country, across the world, not a problem. The box is built to protect.
Factory Entertainment approached Jim Davis and asked him what his all-time favorite Garfield pose would be to make into a sculpture. And he came up with a drawing of Garfield admiring his stomach in a mirror.
Our first observation is that the piece is very large. I mean, just from the table to approximately the top of the piece is somewhere around 13 and a half, 14 inches in height. On the base is a plaque. The plaque is where they number, and also Jim Davis individually signed the actual sculpture itself. So this particular piece, we obviously purchased it because it's a Garfield, and we're one of the top Garfield collectors in the country, and definitely one of the most visible Garfield collectors. We have thousands and thousands of Garfield items of extreme diversity. So this particular one was of interest to us, but it did take some education to try to understand the market, because honestly, price point wise, it's a little more money than we ordinarily would spend for your average Garfield collectible. So,
but it's also a Garfield collectible that has not been on the market. As far as my knowledge, there is nothing that's ever been sculpted with this particular scale before. There's the Danbury mint pieces that are ceramic and a totally different material, but this particular item, as far as I know, it's new to the market as far as a Garfield sculpting in this size.
So it takes some education to first understand the market of the sculptures. Because again, you can be a Garfield collector, but then the sculpture collectors, number one is the artist. And this particular artist has a very rich history and is definitely a world-renowned sculpture artist that Kathy will share.
Ruben Procopio is his name, and again, he's world famous and worked with Disney since about 1980 and worked with them for over 20 years before he started his own studio, the Masked Avenger Studios, and he does a lot of work still with Disney and Warner Brothers, and Factory Entertainment approached him to do this piece knowing that he is world famous and would be a nice name to put with such a nice piece, and that he could bring justice to Jim Davis's design. This is a great piece. I'm really excited to have it. I think it's going to be a great addition to my collection. I've never seen anything in this size and detail of sculpting like this, and I'm very excited to have it, and I really hope I can find a place around here that it'll fit.
It's definitely a large piece. Again, it's almost 14 inches tall. And looking back now, because Kathy spends a lot of time on eBay looking for Garfield items, there's a number of pieces that just don't come very often because they're either very rare or people just won't let them go. So essentially, once the reseller channels or Factory Entertainment runs out, then the aftermarket is at the mercy of people letting one or two go on an occasional basis. And it's my prediction that once that the initial offering has been let go and every item's been sold out, it's probably going to be one of those items years from now that if the starting bid were $450 or something like that, it would probably have a bidding war thereafter because it'll come up so seldom, because it is a very rare piece. Again, 500 made in the entire world with a well-known artist. So what we're trying to say is that if you consider yourself a serious Garfield collector or a serious statue collector, it's probably a good idea to take a look at this and pick up a piece while they still exist. Comparably speaking, something like this for a Disney might start at $500 or more for a similar piece by the same artist.
The company is Factory Entertainment. Their website is factoryent.com.
So again, I'm Robert.
And I'm Kathy.
And this is our review of our brand new resin statue. Wish us luck finding space for it.